Welcome back, everyone. In this segment, I'm going to be discussing what happened on the men's side of the U.S. Open today. There have been 3 matches completed so far. However, the one that was most noteworthy, and probably will be for the entire tournament, is Novak Djokovic's match with Pablo Carreño Busta, the 20th seed. They were at 6-5 in the first set when Novak Djokovic was hitting a ball presumably back to the ball person, and he accidentally, being the official, hitting her in the neck. And I have no idea whether that official is okay or not. However, after about a 15-minute discussion, Novak Djokovic was disqualified from the U.S. Open, which kind of puzzled me. And I started thinking about this a little bit, and I did a little bit of research. And I heard what other people had to say about this. And apparently, something like this has happened before. I mean, in my memory, I had shared what had happened to Martina Navratilova when Ann Ritter, whatever her name was, I don't remember, hit her in the face, breaking her glasses, returning a shot. And I'm wondering now if under that rule, that couldn't have gotten her disqualified. I mean, there was no intent, but based on the rule, it seems like to me it could have. There also was one other time in my memory where I remember, and I believe it was Andre Agassi at Wimbledon. He hit a ball girl on a bounce. Now, he was not disqualified from that Wimbledon, but I thought that was very interesting. But precedent was set in 1995 by Tim Henman playing a doubles match, and I was unaware of this until today. He hit a ball out of frustration that apparently ricocheted off the top of the net and hit a ball girl, hitting her in the neck. And he was immediately disqualified from Wimbledon because of that. And that's very similar to what happened today. And while there have been other incidences that have been with more malice or force, if you will, than this one, because I thoroughly believe that Novak Djokovic had absolutely no intention whatsoever of hitting that official. Yet it happened. And it's unfortunate, and you could see the look of shock and horror on his face, and perhaps with that a bit of confusion. It's interesting there was a 15-minute discussion about it, which I think is proper. Some people since have questioned whether it should have been that lengthy. But I think if you're going to disqualify somebody from a major and it's not readily apparent, which in this case it wasn't at all obvious, I think a longer discussion is erring on the side of caution. I do believe, based on what I've heard and precedent, that the right decision was made. It's very unfortunate for Novak Djokovic, as it may have cost him the title, but it was the right decision. And as Pablo Carreño Busta said, pretty much, he did not want to win that way. And who can blame him? I mean, for all we know, he might have been able to beat Novak Djokovic outright, especially after he injured his left shoulder during the match, apparently. So the one thing I question about all of this is that Novak Djokovic, in the press conference, did not apologize. And while that's absolutely his decision, if it were me, I think I would have apologized. I'm not just thinking, I know I would have apologized. And I would feel horribly about it to the extent where I'm not sure I could play again. But after a while, maybe I'd come around. I'm not certain. But again, it seems like that Novak Djokovic offered no apology in the press conference, which is sad. But I can, however, I can understand his frustration. It'll be interesting going forward to see how he's embraced by the American crowd, presumably, and maybe as early as next year when he returns. As there have been other, not similar instances I know of, but I remember there was one tennis player in Paris who ticked off the French crowd so badly that they rooted against him the rest of the time he played. And his name's eluding me right now, but it wasn't all that long ago. It was within the last 20 years. I know that much. And I don't think he ever did play that well in Paris because of it. Could a similar fate be in store for Novak Djokivic? Stay tuned. In the next segment, I will be discussing what's going on at the BMW Championship. And then I will finish by discussing what's been going on or what occurred yesterday at Churchill Downs. Stay tuned to Sports with Ed on Ed's Sports Channel.